again, but so today we are going to learn how to identify IP address. Today we are going to learn how to identify IP address, and I'm asking you with simple example. Just try to identify the IP address 192.168.10.1. First, let me know this IP address. Is it class A, class B, class C? Is it class A, class B, class C?
Good evening, sir. This is Rohan. That is Class C.
Yeah. Good evening, Rohan. Class C, right?
Yeah.
So this is you identified that one, class C. Good. So this is a class C. Now, is it private IP or public IP?
Private type.
I don't know.
So recall your yesterday's concepts, then you can identify it easily.
192.168 second 168, right, Nazar? That's why it is called as a private IP.
Public
Yeah.
IP, sir.
Public IP. So according to the yesterday's concept, if I open the slide one more time, let me open that slide. Okay. Now let me share. So if you remember yesterday's slide here, now let me know here. What is this? According to our concept, yesterday we learned class A, class B, class C. How to identify class A, class B, class C? If you find the first octet value, it is always depends on first octet value only. If the first octet value starting with 0, ending with 127, that is class A. But in this 0 and 127 is both are not valid according to our concept. 1 to 126 is the valid range. Class B 128 to 191. This is always purely depends on first octet only. Okay. So 128 to 191. If you find any value in between that or including 128 to 191, that is class B. 192 to 23 is the class C. Okay. So from the class A, again 0 is invalid, but 0.0.0.0 is any. 127 is reserved for loopback. The IP address started with 127 dot any value 025, 025, 025. Everything is redirected to 127.0.0.1 only. I will show practically now. We'll get an idea. Then from class A, one range is excluded, that is 10.0.0.0 to 10.255.255.255. The complete range from 10 series, 10 means you can say blindly private IP address. Why? Because 10.025, 0.255, 0.255. Everything is belongs to private IP address range. Then from class B, 172, 16 to 31. 16 to 31. Then class C 192.168. Whenever you find 190.168, that is private IP address. Now, if I go for this example again, so according to this, the first one is according to the concept, the first one is true. Second one also true. That's the reason we can say private IP address. If it is failed, if the condition fail, we can say private IP. Got an idea? Now let me give one more example. Still, if you are confused, you will get clarity on this. 10.100.100.1. What is this class?
Class A, sir.
Class A. class A. Then what is the IP, whether it is public or private?
Public.
Public,
Private.
public or private?
Private.
Private only.
Public.
Public. Why it is public?
Private start with 10.0. Here public start with 10.100. That's all.
Okay. So for your clarity, I am explaining again here. 10.0.0.0 to 10.255.255.255. That means first octet 10 is constant. Remaining value, it might be 0 or 0 to 255. 0 to 255, 0 to 255. Everything comes under the range here. Whenever you find like this, that is private IP address only. So if you find 10 in first octet, that is private IP. Got an idea now? Now I will give one more example. So you need to identify this one clearly. So this is correct. That's the reason we are saying private IP. Now I am giving one more example. 192.10.100.1. What is this class here?
Class C.
Class C. Yeah. So by identifying the range, you can identify class C. Now, what is this, private or public?
This is the public IP, sir.
Public IP. Any other? Anyone else?
Same sir, public IP.
Public IP. Public IP. How to confirm that? As per our range, the range is 192.168.0.0 to 192.168.255.255. So don't say point here, it is dot only. Okay, because when you are new for networking, you may say 192.168 point like that. You have to call as dot. So 190.168.0.0 to 190.168.255.255. In this case, 190 to 168, first two octets are constant, then third octet either 0 or 0 to 255, fourth octet also 0 to 255. So according to the concept here, the first one is correct, 192 matched, but second octet is wrong. So this is wrong, that's the reason we can say public IP. If the condition fail, we can call it as public IP. If the condition true, because everything is public IP only except these three ranges, and fourth one is 169.254.0.0 to 169.254.255.255. So I am giving one more example. 172.25.11.11. What is this? What is this?
Class B.
Class B. So by saying first octet value, you are identifying that one as class B. Now is it private or public?
Private.
Public.
Private.
Private or public? Anybody?
Private.
So to identify again, you need to, initially you can try to practice like this. How I am typing, initially it is little bit like tough to remember the ranges. That's the reason if you try to practice like this, you can easily remember it. 170 to 16.0.02, then 172.31.255.255. Means first octet is constant, second octet is 16 to 31, that third octet is 0 to 255, fourth octet is 0 to 255. If you find any one of this condition, then you can say according to the condition, this first one is correct, but second one also, if you look at here, 16 to 31 and 16 and 31, but 25 is in between 16 to 31, means this is also correct. If both conditions are correct, we can say as public or private. If the condition is true, we can mention as private IP. You got the logic, all of you now? Now we are going to check few more things here. One is if I take 172.168.0.0 168.1.1. What is this? What is
Class
this?
B, sir.
Class B.
Class B.
So first we need to identify class B only. Then is it private or public?
Public.
Public.
Public. So
Public.
as per our condition, the first condition is true. The first condition is true. Second condition is false. Why? Because it should be in between and including 16 to 31. But it is this range is not matched here. It is showing 16 to 31. You should have it, but it is not available. But because many guys they would confuse here. Why? Because they may remember 190 to 168. Whenever they remember 190 to 168, they will match that 168 here. With 190 to 168 is the combination. This is also I can say if A condition is true, B condition also must be true. If A condition is not true, you don't need to check B condition. Suppose for example, this is according to this concept, this is not a private IP address because it is failed, the condition failed. Okay, now I am taking another example. Another example I am giving 170.25.1.1.1. What is this, private or public? First it is a class B, no doubt about that. Now what about this? Class A, class B, class C you identified. Whether it is private or public, how to check it out? 170. The first condition failed, right? If the first condition failed, you don't need to check second condition. Many guys, what they do, they will look into the 25 and they may feel, okay, 16 to 31 SAR told the range, then they will call it as a private IP address. But if the first condition fail, if it is not related to 172, even you don't need to check second condition. So if first condition fail, you don't need to check second condition. This is a public IP. So like that, you need to identify that IP address quickly. Then I am giving one more range. Yesterday we learned that one. That is 169.254.1.1. See, initially it may not be useful for you immediately. 169.254. something. But sometime down the line, you can see this kind of IP address. Whenever you are working with the cloud environments, you can find this IP address. In network also, if you find this IP address, you may feel it is a valid IP address like this. This is valid to communicate, but invalid for your network. Okay. So what is this class here? Class
Class B, sir.
class B.
Class B.
Now is it private or public?
Private.
Private.
Private. So you should not say private. You should call it as EPIPA.
Automatic.
EPIPA. You can say EPIPA. EPIPA condition is 169.254.0225025. If you find any value, that is we can call it as EPIPA IP address. EPIPA. EPIPA is nothing but automatic private IP address. Private IP. So automatic private IP address. Who will assign this IP address? Who will assign this IP address? This will be assigned by OS. Okay. So will be assigned by OS. If the condition is if DHCP server or service fails. So whenever you are assigning IP address manually, you won't get this IP address. But whenever you get this IP address, that means there is a DHCP server available in your network. It might be failed. Then only you will get this IP. So again, I am giving one more here. 127.10.10.1. What is this IP?
Class A.
Class A.
This is class A IP, but loopback address.
We have to call it as loopback app. Yes, loopback, or we can say local host IP, loopback IP or local host IP. Most of the time, whenever you find local host is nothing but 127.0.0.1. So it is automatically it belongs to actually it is belongs to 127.127.0.0.1 only. So I will show practically this information so that you will get more clarity. So any doubt at this level? So you got clarity how to identify private IP and public IP. Now let us see for the systems, then you will get more clarity. So one is our local mission, other one is the remote mission. Our server also I will show it. Then, so again, yesterday we learned IP address different types. IP address, how to identify it, whether it is private IP or public IP, you can identify it. Whether it is class A, class B, class C, you can identify it. We need to identify whether you are you getting static IP or dynamic IP. How to identify? Identify type of IP address assigned for you. We need to identify what is the IP address you have, because as an administrator you know what you are assigning to your customers, but as a beginner we need to identify how to identify type of IP address assigned for you. Suppose if you are using Windows, there is a command called it as IP. You can go to command line. At command line we have to type here IP config, or we can use IP config. All we have to use it. So either we can use IP config or IP config all. IP config it will show basic information. IP config all will show detailed information. Let me show this info first. So is it visible for you? Command line, is it visible? So if you look at this application, IP config, if I use IP config, you can see a lot of details. So in this, if I take one IP address, I have Wi-Fi here, Wi-Fi. So when I have Wi-Fi IP address here, you can observe IPv4 address. It is showing 192.168.0.106, 192.168.255.255.255.0. That is NetMask. I will explain about that. Default gateway it is showing 192.168.0.1. So yesterday I explained about router. I explained about network, right? The same scenario we can take it, and I will explain few more details here. Then apart from that, if you go through this here, IP config all. If I go for all, it is showing little bit more details. You can ignore whatever remaining details we have, but if you observe here, Wi-Fi only I am checking, wireless LAN adapter Wi-Fi. Then it is showing here DHCP enabled. What is the meaning of DHCP enabled? What is the meaning of DHCP enabled? DHCP enabled, it is showing DHCP assigning IP address, right? So whenever you find DHCP enabled S in Windows, that is nothing but dynamic IP. Okay. So IP address we are getting. Today we are getting 106. Tomorrow we may get different IP. Then default gateway it is showing 192.168.0.1. DHCP server 192.168.0.1. And you can also find details like when you have received this one. Along with that, you can also find DNS server. DNS server means domain name system. These details also we need to know that. So we gathered information about your IP address by using IP config all. One is IP address, net mask, it's nothing but subnet mask. Along with that, we can have default gateway, DHCP server, and we are also getting DNS server. Okay, so these details we are going to get with the help of ipconfig. With ipconfig, you are also getting one more thing, technical information, that is, what is this? Physical address. Physical address is nothing but MAC address. We can say MAC address. The MAC address will be assigned by manufacturer of your LAN card. Physical address or MAC address, we can call it as constant hardware address, will be assigned by manufacturer of your LAN card. Who is manufacturer and all details you can find here. This is the Wi-Fi, and few things we need to focus: physical address, and so DHCP enabled or not, and IP address we need to gather. So I'm going to show now. So we have details. You understand the details when you are using ipconfig. What we are getting here: physical address, or we can call it as hardware address. Hardware address, physical address or hardware address we are getting. Along with that, this is also we can call it as MAC address. MAC address. This hardware address, physical address, or MAC address will be assigned by manufacturer. Who will assign this one? This is the hex value. This is the hex value. Okay, hex value will be assigned by manufacturer of your LAN card. So this is very important for administrators. Sometimes whenever you are going to reserve IP address for the particular mission, you must know what is the hardware address, what is physical address, what is MAC address, like that. So we are going to fix for the servers a specific reserved IP. At that moment, with the help of MAC address, we can set it. So it is automatically added into your chipset. We can't modify this value, but as a hacker, you can spoof this MAC. You can hide your MAC address, but you can't change permanent value, but you can hide your MAC. So that is one point we are getting with the help of ipconfig. So how it will be, like, suppose let us take a scenario 0.000 colon 01 colon 02 colon 1A colon 1B colon 2 1, something like this. So this is a hexadecimal value. Each bit, each block is 8 bits here. Each block is 8 bits. 8 bits. So total, what is the total length? Total length of MAC address. What is the total length of MAC address? What is the total length of MAC address? Anyone? Each block is 8 bits. How many blocks we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 into 8, 48 bit. 48 bit. 48. What is the length of IP address? Yesterday we learned. What is the length of IP address?
32 bits, sir.
32 bit. So 32 bit is the length of the IP address. Then when you are going to take IPv6, the total length of the IP address is 128 bit. MAC address length is 48 bit. Each block is 8 bits. Hexadecimal value 6 into 8, 48 bit. This is one important information as administrator we need to remember. Then second one is you are getting IP address details. What are the other details you are getting? IP address. IP address we are getting. Then subnet mask. Subnet mask, or we are getting net mask. We are getting subnet mask or net mask, and we are also getting gateway, and we are also getting DNS. DNS, or we can call it as name server. So name server. So we can also call it as NS. Whenever you find NS, it's nothing but name server. So name server, this is the gateway, or we can call it as router IP. So yesterday, as per our diagram, we will have router to get internet, that is we can call it as gateway, and DNS is going to resolve. What is the use of DNS? Domain name system, right? Name server or DNS is nothing but we can call it as domain name system. So domain name system or server, we can say system or we can say domain name server. What it will do here, it is going to resolve IP address. So name to IP and IP to name. So this is what we need to know, that what are the details we are getting here. First one is IP address. We are getting what is IP address, what is your system IP address. Second one is you are getting what is the subnet mask. Subnet mask is nothing but imaginary mask which is going to differentiate classes as well as which is going to differentiate network. We'll discuss few details about that. Then again we are going to get DN gateway. The gateway is nothing but router IP, which is the mediator in between you and the remote network, like private to public gateway is allowing. DNS is going to resolve your name. So the purpose of DNS is resolve name to IP and IP to name, vice versa here. So it is going to resolve name to IP and IP to name. So this is going to resolve either way. You can fix simply name to IP, but IP to name you don't need to resolve if you don't want it. Like that, vice versa, it is going to resolve. So as an administrator, we need to know that what is our IP address, what is our subnet mask. Net mask and subnet mask I will explain again in next slide. But right now you need to know how to read this information. We already gone through our system, right? Now I'm going to connect with the remote computer. I'm going to connect with the remote computer. So I already said that now I will show how to connect with the PuTTY. So I'm going to use PuTTY connection to connect with the remote computer. In previous session, I have shown how to connect to through command line, SSH command I have used it, but from Windows how to connect I will show. Now I am going to connect with the Linux box. Once if you connect with the Linux box, we will also get the get an idea how to read IP address and how to read subnet mask, how to read gateway, etc. So any doubt at this level? Meanwhile, think if you have any doubt, please let me know.
No doubt from my end.
Okay. So I'm sharing again screen. This is the PuTTY. So PuTTY is the software. You can just simply download from internet. It is free software. You can download it. So we are going to use here the host name. Host name we are going to use practice.login to me. The port number by default is 22, but I am using here 2200. Then appearance I am changing here. Appearance, Windows appearance I am changing. Change. The font size also we are changing to view clearly the text. Otherwise, it looks like a small font. So open. Okay. I'm sharing here PuTTY session. Okay.
So can I ask something, sir?
Yeah, you can ask.
Yes, sir. You said by using PuTTY we can connect to the Intersoft Labs.
Yes.
Yeah. So can I use PuTTY and connect?
From your system.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you can
Yes.
connect.
So for doing practice like that, can I use it?
Yeah, at this level, don't do that because the server
Yes.
is engaging with the students who are practicing Ansible. So,
Yeah.
like as a beginner, if you connect and if you try to practice the beginning concepts, they'll get more load and they may feel a disturbance. So that's the reason I'm not sharing server right now. But after completion of 50-60%, those guys who are already practicing with Ansible and the kind of advanced topics, they will complete their practice. You will be ready at that moment. Okay. So
Okay.
initially prepare your own virtual machine and try to practice it. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Welcome. Student, and I am trying to connect with think I might have entered wrong password. One moment. Okay. I'm reconnecting. Right.